The life of man is struggle. Not the kind sold in books with tidy resolutions, but a deeper, older struggle, one etched into the soul by nature itself. As Arthur Schopenhauer once wrote, life is a constant struggle for existence, with the certainty of defeat. And yet, men rise. Why? Because even in defeat there is dignity. Even in pain there is power. She smiled at your scars. Not because she wanted them to heal, but because they proved you bled. For her. For something greater. You were told that women desire strength. But what they truly seek is something more precise. The sight of strength that bleeds and does not collapse. The kind of strength that suffers silently, and does not ask for applause. Schopenhauer saw it with brutal clarity. He wrote, "The fundamental fault in the character of women is that they have no sense of justice." But what he meant was not cruelty. He meant that justice begins with gratitude, and women, shaped by the primal code of survival, do not perceive male sacrifice as a debt to be repaid. Your efforts, your burdens, your quiet suffering, it was never seen as heroic. It was expected. Not because she is evil, but because you believed that love alone would earn you reverence. That through loyalty, pain, and selflessness you would be recognized. You were mistaken. Not because she lied to you, but because you lied to yourself. Schopenhauer wrote, "Women exist in the main solely for the propagation of the species. Not as an insult, but as revelation. Propagation demands more than sentiment, it demands survival. And survival is not tender. It is ruthless, sharp-edged, and instinctive. She does not admire the man who is strong when all is well. She admires the man who is strong when the weight of life breaks his back, and he keeps moving. She does not love the untested. She admires the unbroken. In her world, the carefree man is invisible. But the man who carries burdens without complaint, who hides his anguish behind a gaze of fire, that man awakens something ancient in her. Respect. You believed she wanted comfort. But what she sought was security. Not the kind offered by soft words, but the kind forged in resilience, in scars, in silence. Schopenhauer warned, nature has endowed woman for her protection with the art of dissimulation. If she tests you, if she appears cold, if she demands more, it is not cruelty. It is instinct. It is nature's way of asking, are you fit to endure? And if you are not, then she moves on. Do not mistake this for hatred. She is not your enemy. She is the mirror. She is the forge. She reflects what you are, and what you refuse to become. But modern men, raised on dreams of equality and romance, collapse beneath this truth. They expect appreciation for kindness, sympathy for suffering, love for intention. But nature does not reward intention. It rewards outcome. You bleed and expect gratitude. But to her instincts, your suffering is not proof of love. It is only proof of necessity. Pain without pride is invisible. Suffering without sovereignty is discarded. The man who suffers and rages is still a slave. But the man who suffers and understands, he is free. Schopenhauer taught that life is suffering, and that desire is a chain. Women are not above this truth. They are shaped by it more deeply than most men can imagine. To expect her to transcend her nature while you refuse to master your own, is the true injustice. He wrote, woman is by nature meant to obey. Not as domination, but as balance. Man creates. Woman selects. Man endures. Woman rewards. The man who endures best, earns the crown. If these words anger you, ask why. Is it because they're false? Or because they threaten what you were raised to believe? You were not born to be adored for your sweetness. You were born to be tested, by life, by pain, by her. And when you pass the test, not with resentment but with quiet mastery, you rise. You transcend. Schopenhauer observed, the intellect of women bears the same relation to that of children as their body does to that of men. Cold. Yes. Controversial? Absolutely. But behind this is a warning. Women are wired for the moment, the tangible, the secure. She does not plan your downfall. But neither will she catch you if you fall. You stand, or you don't. She is tuned to a frequency older than language. One that does not hear apologies, only power. Not dominance but steadiness. Not tears but tempered steel. She does not love the man who is always safe. She loves the man who returns from war, changed but unbroken. You err when you seek pity where you should seek respect. You show her your wounds thinking they will move her heart. But pain that begs is weakness. And weakness, in nature, demands rejection. You are not called to hide your pain because it is shameful. You are called to master it, because only the man who can carry his pain, shapes it into strength. Look to myth. Look to Achilles, to Odysseus. They were not chosen for their softness. They were chosen because they suffered, and they endured. Life's pain is not punishment. It is the crucible. And she, if she tests you, is only the fire that reveals the blade. She does not seek your defeat. She seeks your ascension. But the modern man rebels against this truth. He wants ease. He wants validation. He wants a love that does not require struggle. But that love does not exist. Not in nature. Not in myth. Not in life. You are not called to suffer to earn her favor. You are called to suffer to forge your soul. If she respects you afterward, it is a gift, not the goal. Schopenhauer believed that even amidst the cruelty of life, beauty can be found. And women are not the enemy of men. They are the wind. For the weak man's ship, the wind is ruin. But for the strong, it is the force that carries him across oceans. She is the trial. But she is also the reward. So do not curse the storm. Build a better vessel. To marry, Schopenhauer said, is to have one's rights and double one's duties. This is not bitterness. It is preparation. If you expect her to change, you will suffer. But if you change your expectations, you will rise. Your suffering must not be aimless. It must not be a cry. It must be a crown. Let your pain be the forge of strength. Let your silence be the echo of mastery. She does not break you to destroy you. She breaks you to reveal you. And if you understand this, you will no longer resent her tests. You will embrace them, not as punishment but as purification. The wise man does not rage against the nature of women. He learns to work with it. He learns to dance with the flame. He does not plead. He does not despair. He builds a life so full that whether she stays or leaves, he remains whole. Only then can you truly love. Not as a boy in need but as a man in strength. When you suffer with purpose, when you no longer beg for admiration, when you no longer need to be seen, you become sovereign. Not soft. Not cold. But forged. And if she follows you, it will not be because you sought her approval. It will be because you no longer require it. Schopenhauer pointed the way, not to hatred but to understanding. He pitied the man who misunderstands women. He respected the one who learns from them. And you, if you stand now, if you endure with grace, if you rise above the illusions, you become not a victim of nature but a master within it. She is not your prize. She is your mirror. And when you are ready to wear the crown, she will reflect it. Not before. So rise. Not to please her. Not to defeat her. But to become. The man who suffers well. The man who builds regardless. The man who stands tall, not for her gaze but for his own reflection. Because love at its highest is not the escape from suffering. It is the union of two warriors who have survived it.